is Luke, and I'm an addict. This channel, I'm trying to put more information out there and to educate and to help not only addicts but friends and family of addicts understand and help each other. Um, I've been an addict for 8 years now. I'm 27 years old. Um, and this is just a quick introduction of where and how I've got to where I am. I started. Well, it all started when a doctor prescribed me pills for a condition I had. It was very painful, and they gave me morphine and Percocet, and I gobbled that shit up. I mean, it was helping me out. They prescribed it to me for 6 months through a specialist, and then when the specialist referred me back to my primary cut me off, and that was the end of my prescriptions. But it doesn't take 6 months to get hooked. I mean, I was hooked after 1 month. So when I got cut off, then I went to the streets. I went to my friends. Unfortunately, at the time, one of my very close friends from middle school was already into all of the Oxycontins, Percocets, Vicodins. So I knew where to go to get it. I started with the Percocets. And then I went to the 5 milligram oxys. Went to the 15s. Then went to the 30s. This was back when the OCs were still abusable. So then I went to the 30s, the 40s, the 60s, the 80s. I mean, I did everything. I did them all. I thought heroin was the worst drug ever. I thought anyone that does heroin is a junkie, isn't worth having around. I didn't understand that it's basically the same thing. Then when 2012 came around and the manufacturer of Oxycontin was forced to change the chemical makeup to make those pills unabusable, basically. You can't snort them, you can't shoot them, you can't smoke them. Then I went to heroin. Well, not only that, but because it's a lot cheaper too. Heroin is, depending on where you can get it, at least half of the price of an Oxycontin pill, like equal amounts. Sometimes you can get even for less, a third of the cost, a fourth of the cost. So it just makes sense to an addict. If you're scraping by, you want to get the most bang for your buck, you're going to go for the most potent, cheapest stuff you can find, which sadly is heroin. Um, since I've been on heroin, I have gone to a detox twice. I went to detox in 2013 and then again in 2016. When I went in 2013, I did very well for a very long time. I was only in detox for 4 days, and then coming out, they prescribed me Suboxone. I'll do an episode later strictly on Suboxone. I think it's a great drug. It's a great stepping stone with your recovery, but it is not a quick fix, and it is not something you want to be on for very long. I was on Suboxone for 2.5 years, way too long. And then unfortunately, the doctor that was prescribing me that left the practice, and she gave me to another doctor in the facility, and he weaned me down very fast and just got me out of his office, and it wasn't effective, and I ended up relapsing. Suboxone is still an opiate. You still withdraw from it, so it's not like you can just stop taking that, just like you can stop taking vitamin C. Suboxone you will get opiate withdrawals from. And in my case, I think they were just as bad, if not worse, than heroin and Oxycontin withdrawals. Some people say that Oxycontin withdrawals are worse than heroin. Some people say that heroin is worse than Oxycontin. I think they both have their faults. I mean, they're not the same, but they're both just as bad. I'm not going to get into withdrawals. I'm planning on doing a whole thing about that later. But um, once I relapsed from the Suboxone, everybody in my life knew I was a drug addict. They thought I was done with it. They thought I was recovered. They thought I was doing good. So I was hiding it. And I'm very good at hiding it, I should say. Or I was very good. Then about 7, 8 months ago, well, no, about a year and a half ago, I got arrested for possession. I played that off with my family, saying that it was a weed possession, which is funny because I'm in a state where weed is actually legal. So I'm not sure why they believe me. I think that maybe they're just in denial. But then kind of shit hit the fan. I got a warrant because I didn't take care of it. My license got revoked for another traffic issue. Got pulled over and sent to jail again. Then got a lawyer, got that case resolved. But right now I'm kind of in the midst of fucking that up. I'm not proud of it. I wish I could do things differently, but the best way I can explain it is there's a demon inside of me, and a lot of people think of this as a disease, and that is completely true. Whether you think of it as a demon or a disease, it's something that's always there, always in the back of your mind, always that third voice. There's your conscience, there's your outer voice, and then there's this addiction voice. And a lot of times it overpowers both of your voices, and it takes control of you. So that's basically my story. I'm hoping that I can reach a lot of people, not only for my benefit of getting this off my chest and speaking to somebody, speaking to people and getting through to people, not only speaking but getting through to people of addicts and family and friends, but I'm hoping to get feedback and answer questions and go through talk about topics that maybe aren't talked about a lot by mainstream media or in recovery centers or detox centers. There's just some things that they don't tell you, and there's some things that they just don't know. If they're not an addict, if they're not in the game, you wouldn't know. And there's things that I am learning almost every day about this game, about different drugs, or about the drug I've used for years that I didn't know yesterday. Really, really, really hoping that this is going to push me to get clean, stay clean, and have a successful recovery. Because I'm a hermit, not to the fullest extent, but I'm a introvert, and I like being by myself. I like talking to people, I like socializing, but being by myself I have no problem with. I can be by myself and be completely content, and I think that kind of feeds my disease, because if I can't talk to anyone about what I'm feeling or what I'm going through, it's going to fester, and it's going to keep going on until I just break down and go get some drugs. I not only want to help others understand and learn, but I need help. I need as much help as I can get, in all areas, mentally, spiritually, physically. So if there's anybody out there that has any tips, short of checking myself into rehab, I've tried that, I've done the detox before. Rehab is so expensive, it's a scam, or not necessarily a scam, but it's almost like the system doesn't want you to get clean. I've been looking at sober living houses. Where I live, it's anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. An addict does not have $2,000 a month to spend on rent. Yeah, they probably spend that much on drugs, but do they have that much up front? No, they're scraping by every single day to get that money to get high. They don't have $2,000 all at once. They'll never have that much all at once. So yeah, I'm calling out for help, a support group, if it's words of encouragement. I'm really going to base this series, or whatever you want to call it, on the feedback I get. I really want to make sure I'm doing this for a reason, above myself. need this. I know my recovery, I need to be the center of that. But I've tried that. I've tried focusing on myself, and it's not enough. I need something else to keep me motivated, keep my drive going for sobriety. Because at this point, I need a support group, a support system, and around here, there's just not a whole lot of options when you don't have a lot of money. Yeah, if you guys can help me out with whatever you can, click the subscribe button, click the like button. I mean, in the end, that's really going to help me more than you know it. I mean, if I get 100,000 subscribers, that would blow my mind. You know, I don't even know how the YouTube system works at this point. I don't even know what that means. But if I know I'm reaching that many people, that would almost make myself feel bad, you know, if I didn't actually do something and start my recovery and stay in recovery, because all these people are looking towards me. Tried many other things, and I'm really starting to hit rock bottom. I mean, you think, I mean, anybody that's an addict, you think, oh, he has a camera and a computer and a car. I mean, he can't be doing that bad. But I mean, a month ago, I had a place to stay. I had a job. I had a girlfriend. And I mean, all the major factors in my life are gone. I'm down to pretty much the nuts and bolts. I'm down to what I can physically lug around. And I'm sure that's going to start diminishing soon too. So I'm trying to hold on to all I can. I'm trying to hold on to my life pretty much. So yeah, I mean, more to come. Yeah, let me know what you think. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button, that thumbs up button, just to let me know you're there. You know, that would do the best good for me right now. I apologize for the quality of this video, both the audio and the video. Just got this camera and I'm trying to figure out the settings. So in the future, especially the audio should be better. So I apologize for that. Hopefully the video will get better too. I'll try to video during the day so you don't have to deal with this artificial lighting. Hopefully I can do it outside once the weather gets better instead of sitting in my car.